I want to start with something that happened actually this past week. As we do almost every day, I was conducting a morning check-in with the kids that I work with. So, we go around and just a simple body, emotion, feeling check-in. Like, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling right now? What are you noticing? And I had noticed in the past few days that I was getting typical one-word answers. It might sound like, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling okay. It might even have some emotion language to it, like I'm feeling, excited today. I'm feeling ready. I'm feeling nervous today. And at the same time, I was noticing this pattern of getting one-word answers. Well, this time I decided to do something. I put what I was planning to do for group on pause, and we shifted into one of my absolute favorite exercises. And it's the exercise that I want to show you today, and I'm going to call it a body cues mapping exercise. Now, before we jump into it, I want to give you kind of a spoiler alert because there's some cool things that can happen no matter what age you're working with. And when we did this the other day, kids and honestly, even some of the adults that were doing it were surprised at how much insight it gave them into their internal experience and to what was going on today. We started seeing things like, I might be 10% tired, and I have a lot of love in my chest today, or I'm feeling tightness right here in my stomach, or I'm feeling like I need some movement in my arms and my legs, or kids were saying things like I feel energetic in my legs and I feel tired in my head. But it was giving a lot of nuance to what's really going on with me today. So this is the body cues map that we used. And it's really simple. What you're gonna do is and all you really need is some markers or colored pencils and this exercise sheet. So if you're watching this, if you look in the comments, you'll see a download for this version of it. You can also just honestly Google or go into Canva or whatever you use, type in body outline or silhouette, and you'll have plenty of different versions. So this is not something that I came up with out of the blue. I made my own version to look like this, but you can find versions of this all around the internet. And so step one is we just want to kind of start noticing what's going on. For me, when I lead this exercise, I really like to start out with a body scan if we're in a place of safety, generally with the people in a group who feel like they can do that, or even individually. And then maybe notice like what are the top 2, 3, 4, 5 things that are coming up for you today. You don't have to use, another cool thing about this is you don't have to use words. So you could lead somebody through this activity, hand them the sheet, the colored pencils or markers or crayons, whatever they want, and just let them go with it after you give them some instructions. And they don't ever have to use words, which is really cool because, sometimes when we're under a lot of stress, we might not have access to that part. And so what we want to do is down here, maybe you notice what emotions you're feeling today and you want to write them down. You don't have to write them down. So maybe I write joy, and maybe that is going to be this color. Some people just like to do that. Some people like to fill it in all the way. Today I'm feeling very focused. Maybe that's color. And there's some days, now this isn't me today, but just to kind of give you an example, there's some days where people may be feeling some like sadness or depression. Maybe you don't have an emotion word for that, but maybe for that day that's gray or something, whatever that looks like for you. And the next thing I like to have people go through and do is color it in wherever it is in your body. Bonus points if you can notice where you might be feeling that and like how much of you is it taking up today. So for me, honestly, just today, as in really how I'm feeling today, I've already got up and it's sunny outside where I live, and I've been to the gym and I've been very productive. So I'm feeling a lot of joy today. And as I go through, I'm also noticing I'm feeling a lot of lightness and energy, and I don't even know what word I want to call that, but I'm just going to say light, like all through here. So I've got some movement. I feel a lot of focus. And then lastly, I don't know, what color would you put for gratitude? I'm going to go with this orange because I'm also feeling a lot of gratitude. And that's just filling up everything in here for me. Voila. And there we have it. Like, now you see my body cues map for today. Everything is honestly accurate as to my internal experience right now, except for that gray. I just wanted to give you a description. There would be days when I probably feel some of that gray. Thankfully, that's not today. I shouldn't even say thankfully. That's just not today. It's not part of what's going on with me today. And so after we do this, I would just simply start. I always like to start with the process of the actual activity. So instead of asking for the content or, what's on the sheet, I might just start by saying, what was that like for you? Honestly, a lot of people are going to go straight into, well, I put this and I put this. What I noticed for a lot of the kids was just like, it was really cool just kind of thinking through and noticing what I was carrying, because I didn't realize, I knew I was tired, but I didn't realize that I also had a lot of energy or things like that. And the process is really powerful, because think about it. How often every day, throughout your day, do you take the time to pause, to notice the sensations that are going on inside of you, to notice, am I carrying stress somewhere in my body? Is there tension that I could release, that I could maybe let go, where I could send some breath? Are there feelings that I'm carrying around that I'm not aware of? And if I'm not aware of them, are they maybe spilling out into other areas of my life without me even realizing it? Now, one of the cool things about it is, even though I know a lot of us are solution-focused problem solvers, is this activity doesn't require any kind of problem solving, no kind of save the day coming after it. It's simply helping these young people, or whoever it is you work with, to develop the skill of pausing, of noticing, of doing an internal inventory of what's going on with them, to give them more power, to more insight and more control over what's going on inside and how that translates to their world. Now, if this is something that you feel like that you want to use, we're not going to cover this in this video, but a cool next level. Maybe you're already a seasoned clinician or somebody who helps, and this is easy. Next level is doing some needs mapping along with it. So, you know what? I noticed that I didn't realize I was feeling light today, or I didn't notice that I was feeling a little resentful today. What does that part of me need right now? So if my chest feels tight or empty or low or just gray, maybe that part of me needs some love or some reassurance. If my shoulders feel tight or heavy, maybe that part of me needs some rest or some movement. If my stomach feels all kinds of colors marked in, or maybe some unsettled feelings going in there, maybe I need some grounding or predictability. This is another really great thing to build with people of any age that don't have this skill, because it helps us really see that we are more than one thing at any given time, and our experience is fluid, and there's different parts of us who need different things. And when we can connect that with a strategy to meet those needs, wow, what a way to build a more of an internal locus of control. And it increases our ability to love ourselves, to practice self-compassion, and many other things. So this week, try it. Just notice what happens when you go beyond just saying, I'm fine. You might discover that there's a lot more there.